Right, Maui, what is your good point?
Well, we just talked about academy players as a whole, but have to zoom in on one. The Kiyosuke debut and the follow-up game versus Mongols showed everything, maybe arguably more than what I expected out of him coming into the first series. I mean, this is a guy that really can just change the face of a round so instantaneously. The aim that he has, it's so smooth. It's just he's doing some of the bobbing and weaving that Donk is doing, but I actually I might be on what King T said a while back, where his aim might actually be better than Donk's. It's so ridiculous watching this guy and how he'll do a little tap crouch, backward strafe, and then it doesn't even look like he's doing it. Like his crosshair is fixated on people
Yeah.
so rapidly, and even if he's throwing out all these little stutter steps and jitters, it doesn't even look like that from his crosshair. You almost just have to look directly from the POV side of it. The fact that it is actually bobbing up and down. This guy is just incredible. I'm shocked that Falcons weren't able to get it over the line today, and that he was the only one that was seemingly putting up a fight versus the Mongols. But in the first matchup that they had, it was just, I mean, versus Gamer Legion, he also looked fantastic too. It wasn't quite. It was more of a win by committee in that sort of game. So you had your Monacy moments, your Nico moments there. But today, it really felt like it was just him versus nine. Like the rest of Falcons was doing him very few services, and even when unsupported by other players, other utility, he was able to take the fight to the Mongols players, beat them as they were on heaters for much of this game. And we really do have another rifle star. The way that Falcons has stacked talent at this point is just it's unfair. It's simply unfair.
Dude, there's so just one more star, right? They're so close. So the only thing, what was amazing though was like game versus Gamer Legion, they were kind of a punching bag for everybody. Like everybody on Falcons were just like having great rounds. In the Mongols game, it was like mainly Kiyosuke, but to be honest, he was getting like one or two deagle kills on ecos, no matter who he was playing against. Like he did it back-to-back rounds where I think he got two deagle kills versus the Mongols. It was pretty amazing, to be honest, to watch. I wonder though if there is just like ultimately a space vacuum on the Falcons where you cannot have everybody playing extremely well or to the level of Kiyosuke if like Nico is specifically giving up roles to him as well as Tessus is giving up roles to him. I don't think there's many excuses for Monacy, but like as it stands, they did a good job of setting him up. They gave him so much trust to be able to like you can have every. He said he has every spot he wants basically, so it's like they gave him tons of trust, which I think would add more pressure. And then and to be fair to him, he had to say, I don't care what tournament I'm in. I just play it. And that's because he was constantly asked that by everybody. So like the answer is kind of annoying, but he can't escape it. When you watch the full interview, he was pretty chill about every question and he just kind of like answered it. But he also did show out and prove that he really wasn't nervous.
No, the funny thing about this is like we're going to sound counterintuitive to fans, but I actually think that we are all doing it the right way, which is I'm going to draw the parallel to when Donk first came in and had that kind of 8-tier, because it reminds me of the same thing. It's like when a player comes in like this that's insanely hyped at tier 2, you're supposed to tell every fan they're probably not going to actually be the best player at tier 1. Like, temper your expectations because, spoiler, like, we've only had one guy actually do that, maybe two, and this might be like the second or the third, depending on how you want to debate that. So they're such unicorns. That is a good rule to put out there because it shows that these guys have broken the mold. But then also, similarly, you want to also tell them, and also, he's not going to be the next Donk, is he? There's only one Donk. But the joke is, like, he also does look like a next Donk. That's also real. Like, I'm actually getting vibes of those first matches, that kind of 8, so where you're watching them, like, Is he not just going to have any fucking bad maps? Like, what is this? Like, this is stupid. Like this is almost whack for every other pro in the scene that we all want to tell them when they're on the way up, like the youngsters of the world. Like, chill out, mate. Like, wait till you get there. Like, apparently if you are this goated, you just can be amazing from day one. I'll even say I agree, Maui. On the aim one, it's weird because I always told people in the early days of Donk that actually he had that weird quality where I never thought he had, like, insane aim. Look, he gets a lot of headshots, but he doesn't have, like, the crazy tracking aim. For me, Donk's way more snappy. This guy is so smooth, it's unreal. I'll use the analogy that we've talked about many times on our basketball show. It's a bit like that famous like hot take in basketball that isn't actually a hot take if you know the sport of basketball, which is because Steph Curry is the best shooter ever. If you then say, I actually think Klay Thompson has better shooting form, people lose their minds because they don't listen to what you said. They don't listen to what you said about, like, it's about like how it looks aesthetically. They just go, but Curry is the best shooter. And it's like, and no one disagreed with that. I think it's the same thing here. I think Donk is better than Kiyosuke. That's not a hot take. But the difference is Kiyosuke has what looks like perfect aim. Like, I agree with you, Maui. He's even the only person I've ever seen that I actually give a fuck about that tech everyone's obsessed with now, of being able to see the keys. I've never understood that, by the way. For a normal player like Nico, I don't need to see the keys, dickhead. I can tell he moved left and he strafed through the mouth. Like, what secret tech are you getting? But the difference is, Kiyosuke and Donk, in theory, are the only two that I might need that for. Because it means if you hadn't, like Maui, have seen the, like, Donks, you would have figured it out from the key movements, actually. And actually, Kiyosuke, there was a video, I forget the name of the guy now, sadly. He was an Australian guy. I've mentioned this on my video about him. He actually did a video like this about a lot of Donk, a lot of Kiyosuke's moves he does on T-side, about how he does like those weird half swings and stuff. And basically, this guy has loads of his own little movement tricks. But I agree with you, Maui, especially when he like sprays. You wouldn't see it because if you just look at the crosser, you just think he has insane aim. But he's doing all that like while moving, like in between the fucking sprays. So it's actually real. Again, it has to be some Donk slide shit, mate, because it just works. Like, if this was just some weird gimmick, like, by the way, I've said this a million times, when your Kindar sits like, when your Kindar's like looking at individual electrons in the monitor, that's only dope when you're in 2021 and 2022, you idiot. When you're actually cracked, I can believe that is some secret tech. When you're just like average as fuck now when you're doing it, it's like you're just a person who's destroying his eyesight. Like, you know, it's not cool anymore at that point. So these guys are doing some secretive shit. And it also, there's another thing, by the way, that's nuts. Imagine saying that a brand new rookie has anything in their game from day one. The actual pros should take note of, and I'm not trolling. If I was out there and I was some super sick rifler who's an entry type player like Xertion, I would literally be watching it. I know it sounds mad, it should be the other way around, but you should actually watch his POVs. I'm not trolling. You might actually get some little things you could play in your game that will probably make you even better. So, no, the joke so far is it has only been a few games, but I'm with you, mate. Even in the game they lost, he looked really fucking good. Like, if anything, he was the one that stood up when the others, the veterans, failed. And actually, you know what? The obvious person so far who I do think has gotten absolutely fucked by this guy being in the team, and it was obvious. It's obviously Tessus, right? His game is completely destroyed. Yeah. But here's the saddest part of all. And in some ways, maybe we all Falcons now, boys, because I've just adopted the Falcons mentality launders. Because on the one hand, I should think that sucks, right? Tessus was doing his job decently before. You know, he seems like a really cool guy, great mentality. But you know what? If Kiyosuke can play this way and they can get Donk and Morrissey to perform, I don't give a fuck, Tessus. Mate, you can go redder than fucking when Jaws attacks, bro. I don't care. One, if we win the game, shut the fuck up and just lift the trophy. And two, if we don't win the game, someone get out that big shortlist and then get the next vault of money open and let's just get that fucking anchor player in. Because I'm sorry, Tessus, if Kiyosuke is going to be this good, bro, I'm sorry, I have to say, you have to get on your bike, mate. This isn't for you. You've already had loads of fucking money for that. It's great. I know, listen, it didn't have to be this way. I get it. If Nico and Morrissey didn't fuck you at that major and they just played normally, you could just be in this team for another couple years. Sadly, it's not going to happen now. It's over for you. I know I've only seen a few games. It's already over for you, Tessus. Pack your bags.
No, you're one of the new. You sound like one of the new fans, man. We're the old guys.
This guy's too good.
About this
guy's too good, bro. He's just too good.
But yeah, like Tessus was unironically like carrying them for a bit. For like
he was doing a good job before, mate.
Yeah, it's a shame. But you're right about the like form versus like reality about the aim and stuff. Like I would say he kind of looks more like Nico than he does Donk.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Because they think about super smooth, you're always correct. Yeah.
And his deagle and everything like that. And I think there are like lots of sports examples. Like I'm watching a lot of golf right now. There's like Adam Scott. You want to study this guy's swing, but he's not the best golfer in the world, right? You look at the best golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, and his ball is landing way closer to every target he's shooting for. But if you want to look at form, there's different guys. I mean, in Counter-Strike, that would be like Scream. we had this,
Sure.
I think Nico played a show match with Screaming in China recently, and he was like, yeah, he's not totally in form in the game. His aim looks pretty good, but there's so many other parts about the game that matter. But when it comes to mechanics, it's hard to say exactly. You could argue maybe Donk has a more high-risk playstyle technically because he moves a little faster.
Sure.
He takes way more opening kills. So the frags that he does get proves that his aim is actually maybe even better than it looks. But in terms of mechanics, yeah, Kiyosuke looks like almost somehow more reliable. It feels like Donk is just gonna can't last forever, but he is. So I don't know when that ends. Yeah, the scene's been very confusing in a very exciting way for the last year.
And by the way, look, we won't belabor it because apparently it was like Kiyosuke himself who chose Falcons over Spirit. But yeah, if you are a Spirit fan, this is a bomber to hear. But I can tell you from watching the POVs of Kiyosuke, they definitely could have coexisted, in my opinion, as you will now see in Falcons. So sadly, you could have had Donk and Kiyosuke in the same team, and I won't even let myself do it. I can't even imagine how insane that would have been. I actually think that would have just been game over, bro. But it's all good. They kept the parity of the scene. It's all good.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.